In this exploration of the deadliest plane crashes, we will examine the circumstances surrounding each disaster, the impact on victims and families, and the lessons learned that have led to advancements in aviation safety. Here are top 8 deadliest plane crash. Number 1, Tenerife Airport Disaster, 1977. The Tenerife Airport disaster, which occurred on March 27, 1977, at Los Rodeos Airport in Tenerife, Spain, remains the deadliest aviation accident in history, resulting in 583 fatalities. The tragedy unfolded when KLM Flight 4805 collided with Pan Am Flight 1736 on the runway, as the KLM aircraft initiated its takeoff without proper clearance amid dense fog. The collision killed all 248 people on the KLM flight and 335 of the 396 passengers and crew on the Pan Am flight, with only 61 survivors from the latter. Contributing factors included communication misunderstandings and the airport's congestion due to a terrorist bombing that had diverted multiple flights. Number 2, Japan Airlines Flight 123, 1985. Japan Airlines Flight 123 remains the deadliest single aircraft accident in history, occurring on August 12, 1985. The Boeing 747-146SR, carrying 524 people, suffered a catastrophic failure just 12 minutes after takeoff from Tokyo's Haneda Airport, en route to Osaka. A faulty repair following a tail strike incident 7 years earlier led to the structural failure of the rear pressure bulkhead, resulting in rapid decompression and the loss of the vertical stabilizer. This caused the pilots to lose control as all hydraulic systems were severed, rendering the aircraft nearly uncontrollable. Despite the crew's efforts to stabilize the plane, it crashed into Mount Takamagahara in Gunma Prefecture, killing 520 people and leaving only 4 survivors. The delayed rescue operation, taking 14 hours to reach the crash site, contributed to the high fatality rate. Number 3, Charkhi Dadri Mid-Air Collision, 1996. The Charkhi Dadri mid-air collision occurred on November 12, 1996, over Haryana, India, and remains the deadliest mid-air collision in history, resulting in the deaths of 349 people. The incident involved Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763, a Boeing 747-100B, and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, an Ilyushin Il-76, both of which collided in mid-air due to the Kazakhstan flight descending below its assigned altitude. Contributing factors included miscommunication with air traffic control, exacerbated by the Kazakh crew's limited English proficiency, and failures in crew resource management. The investigation led by the Lahoti Commission prompted significant changes in aviation safety protocols, including the mandatory installation of airborne collision avoidance systems in aircraft operating in and out of India, setting a new standard for global aviation safety. Number 4, Turkish Airlines Flight 981, 1974. Turkish Airlines Flight 981, also known as the Ermenonville Air Disaster, occurred on March 3, 1974, and remains the deadliest single aircraft accident with no survivors. The McDonnell Douglas District of Columbia 10 was en route from Istanbul to London, with a stopover in Paris, when it crashed into the Ermenonville forest near Paris, killing all 346 people on board. The disaster was caused by a cargo door failure due to a design flaw. The improperly secured cargo door burst open shortly after takeoff, leading to an explosive decompression that severed critical control cables, rendering the aircraft uncontrollable. Thank you for making it this far. Please like and subscribe. Number 5, Ermenonville Air Disaster, 1974. The Ermenonville Air Disaster, also known as the crash of Turkish Airlines Flight 981, occurred on March 3, 1974, and remains the deadliest accident involving a McDonnell Douglas District of Columbia 10. The aircraft was on a scheduled flight from Istanbul to London, with a stopover in Paris. Shortly after departing Paris, the rear cargo door of the District of Columbia 10 failed due to a design flaw and improper latching, leading to explosive decompression. This catastrophic event severed critical control cables, rendering the aircraft uncontrollable. The plane crashed into the Ermenonville forest near Paris, killing all 346 people on board. The investigation revealed that the cargo door's design flaw was known, but corrective measures had not been fully implemented by McDonnell Douglas. Number 6, Air India Flight 182, 1985. Air India Flight 182 was a devastating aviation disaster that occurred on June 23, 1985, when a Boeing 747-237B, named Emperor Kanishka, was destroyed by a bomb at 31,000 feet over the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Ireland, resulting in the deaths of all 329 people on board. The bombing, orchestrated by Canadian Sikh extremists linked to the militant group Babur Khalsa, was part of a coordinated attack that also involved an explosion at Narita Airport in Tokyo. Inderjit Singh Rayat was the only individual convicted for his role in the attack, which exposed significant lapses in security and intelligence sharing by Canadian authorities. An inquiry led by former Supreme Court Justice John C. Major revealed a cascading series of errors that allowed the bombing to occur, while the trial associated with the incident became the most expensive in Canadian history, ultimately leading to the acquittal of 2 other accused individuals due to insufficient evidence. Number 7 Saudi Arabian Flight 163, 1980. Saudia Flight 163, a scheduled passenger flight from Karachi, Pakistan, to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with a stopover in Riyadh, faced a tragic fate on August 19, 1980. The Lockheed L-1011 TriStar aircraft, carrying 287 passengers and 14 crew members, encountered a fire in the cargo hold shortly after takeoff from Riyadh. Despite successfully returning and landing at Riyadh's airport, the crew failed to initiate an immediate evacuation, resulting in the deaths of all 301 people on board due to smoke inhalation. The investigation revealed several critical failures, including the crew's lack of awareness of the fire's severity, delays in evacuation, and inadequate emergency response procedures. Number 8 Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, MH17, was a scheduled passenger flight from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur that was tragically shot down on July 17, 2014, over eastern Ukraine. The Boeing 777-200 was carrying 283 passengers and 15 crew members, all of whom perished in the incident. The aircraft was flying over a conflict zone during the war in Donbass, where Russian-backed separatists were engaged in combat with Ukrainian forces. A Dutch-led investigation concluded that the plane was downed by a Buk surface-to-air missile, launched from territory controlled by pro-Russian separatists. The missile's warhead exploded near the cockpit, causing the aircraft to break apart mid-air, with wreckage scattered over a wide area near the village of Rabov in Donetsk Oblast. While air travel remains one of the safest modes of transportation today, the lessons learned from these tragic incidents continue to shape the future of aviation, ensuring that the industry remains vigilant in its commitment to protecting passengers and crew. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.